I hope my screen is visible to all of you. And if there is any issue in uh, audio, like if I'm not audible, then write it in the text or unmute yourself and say. And in between the sessions, if you have any issue, then do not need to wait for the end. You can just interrupt me in the middle. And okay, so let's just start. So, good evening, everyone. And I'm Kamna Mishra, and I'm from IIT Mandi, Department of Mathematical and Statistical Sciences. And this course, particular course, Foundation of R Software, is taken by Professor Sulabh, and he is from Department of Mathematics and Statistics, IIT Kanpur. Okay, so firstly, the class timings, like I will take the class on every Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. And the problem solving session link is given here, Drive link and the YouTube link. So I think I have created a playlist, so you can just go through YouTube, and then you can see that I will have two playlists. So one is probability statistics, and the other one is for the foundation of R softwares. Okay. So, uh, we have seen the basically the R, how we use this R, and then R Studio. I told you a little bit in the last class that how to use the R Studio. So we will go through each and every part of the R software, that how R software, R Studio, sorry, how R Studio is basically. Uh, you can handle the art studio, and then you can go through all the parts of art studio, so that it will help in later coding, and then it will be much faster if you know everything already. So if you want to download the art studio, so I think it is already given how to download it, but I'll just show you very fast, that all you need to do is that RO Studio, and then if you want to download it for Windows, you can download it for Windows, or otherwise if you want to download it for Mac, Linux, then you can type it similar. So you will get like this. So for R Studio, you need to install the R firstly. So we are working on R. R Studio basically just makes our work it's like seeing everything on one page is very much better when you work on R Studio rather than R. So you can just download and install R, and then you can download R Studio for uh, like desktop and all. And here it is given below that you want to download it for Windows, for Mac, for Ubuntu if you are, in case you are using, and the all others, like whichever you want to use. So you can use the depending on your like laptop or uh, whatever you are using. So now let's just go through this R Studio window, how it works. Okay. And in the discussion forums, I have seen that there are some people who had some doubts regarding this art studio, how basically this art studio, like I think in environment or something, there has been some issues. So we will discuss it one by one. Okay. So let me just remove it. If you have R Studio, so basically this is you have like here I have given something. That's why there is some uh, already some numbers are there, some variables are there. So here is your R Studio basically, but there have been four windows. So if you want to work like that, like you work in here like R, so if you want to work like that R console, all you need to do is that, like here you have the same R console you have here. Okay. So here you can, like if I will type x is equal to 5, then x is equal to 5 is here. So it is showing me the environment, basically what are the variables are written here. But if I remove rm x, then x is removed from this environment. So be careful for that. Okay, so this is the r console. If you want to write it like r console. Now if you now we are gonna use it like r studio. So what you need to do is that we are gonna take a new script file. So you need to use new and then r script file. So our script file here, untitled one is like we have, and then uh, what you can do is that whatever thing you are doing here, what happens, it is like working one by one. Okay, so if I have put x is equal to 5 and then rmx, so firstly it has run this and then run this, but here you can like run everything at. Hello, am I audible to you? Hello, sorry for the interruption. Let me present it again. Okay. Yeah. So what we were talking is that if you are doing it, then it will run like one by one. But if you will write the command in R script, let's say x is equal to 5 and rm x. Okay. Uh, or let's say x is equal to 5, y is equal to 6 and rm x. So all you need to do is that you need to just select all and then run. So at the end everything executed in one time. So here you cannot see any variable coming like x, because we have removed x, so y is equal to 6 is given, because all the command has been like run in one time. Okay, like it is running one by one, but here like you don't need to like write every command and then run and then write every command and then run. So when you will work like further coding, so it will help, because like there can be larger codes and you don't want to run it all like all the time. Okay. Now we will see like so this one is our console, this one is terminal. uh, Okay. And this one is background jobs. So background jobs is basically like you are installing, let's say so many packages. Let's say you are installing 5 packages. So you have just put install dot packages here. Okay. So if I will put like if one package is installing and I have given already the another pack installing for the another package, so it will do a background job that it is doing in background. Or let's say I need some 2 3 packages and I'm working on coding also continuously, so you can see the background jobs here and you can see the continuous coding here in the console. uh, this I have already told you, you got to like have new file, then new project you can start, then you can open the file. Let's say if I open the file and if I go to like all of my files are saved in R course. Okay, so let me go downloads and let's say R course. So here I can see all of my R files, so I can open the files from here. And then you have the like you can import the data set like from the CSV, from the Excel, sparse and all, and you can save it. So these are, you can go on your own. Edit also, you can see what are the things, and then you can code, view, plots, sessions. Help you can take from here, you can like whatever things you are having here, help, view, packages, help, etc. That you can have here also. Now the next thing is that here, second window. So second window, environment is basically the global environment. What you have is the variables you are taking. So I have like two data sets here, DFCH, DFCO. So these are just two data sets, and then X1 is an array, and then Y is one variable. Now to clear this, you need to use this. The So it is already written here that if you will just click on it, it will write it as clear objects from the workspace. So it will just clear all the objects. Okay. Then history, you can go through like you whatever coding you have done and somehow you have missed it. Connection, and then tutorial, you can go through some tutorials. Now the last one is that files. So you can see the files you have here, and then plots. So if I will make any plot, uh, let's say I am making, I'm taking this one array, and I'm plotting histogram of X. Okay. Yeah, one more thing, you can just run it. If you want to run it, you don't need to like all the time select and run. What you can do is that just click on like line, anywhere on the line, and you can press control enter. Okay. So uh, just just to run, all you need to do is that control plus enter. Okay. So if I will put control and cursor anywhere in the line, I will put control enter, and then I will put hist x. Then this is the place where you will get the plots. So in the plots section, you will get this histogram of X. Now the packages, you can see from here. You can, you if you want to install a package, if you want to update a package, or if you want like let's say I want to work on stats and then stats package. So all I know is that it is already installed. Okay. Then help. So help you can take in any package if you want any kind of help. So let's say for the simil I want help, so for stats package, and then there are so many. And it also works like if you don't remember the whole name. Let's say I want to do on uh, okay, like, so you can see that all the packages having the regarding my, I mean, where you can use it. So you can take help from the package. So if I will put just stats and I get this, so all I know is that this is the R package. So the thing you write package dot description and all, so you will get from here. And if you want to know everything about this, then you can use here. And then this is viewer, this is the presentation. If you want to present and then save it, and then if you want to export this plot, then you can export it from here. You can save it like an image, save it like an uh, PDF, and also you can copy to clipboard. So if you want to save it, then you can see that what is the width you want, what is the height you want, and then you can click on maintain aspect ratio if you want to have this aspect ratio. So what it will do is that if I will put, let's say, 1000 here, then it will change. If I will put 100 here, see, height will change automatically. Okay. So depending on you whether you want to maintain the aspect ratio or not. And then you can save in different formats, and then you can name file here, and then here you can give the directory. You can choose from the directory that you want to put it.
Excuse me, ma'am. Uh, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, if you want to put a point. like 0.01, 0.02. So how we can put like a x-axis and y-axis in a
If you,
points like so, yeah.
okay, uh, like here you
Instead of,
want.
yes, yes, ma'am.
So okay, so actually this is the histogram for the numbers I have given, and depending on its frequency, so you can like change the numbers according to yourself, and then it will show it on its own.
Ma'am, what why I'm asking, like if we consider like some stock market data or something, so that data will be in a point.
Yes.
So for that data, we like our frequency is also small. So how we
Okay.
can plot that data in a bar graph?
uh, you have to, you can either use the histogram plot, and you can either use the bar plot. So depending on your work, you can use the histogram or bar plot. And then generally, like whatever value, the x value you will give, that will come, and then the frequency will come. Like it will have minimum of one frequency if you are having that point. So it will show, excel will show on its own. And otherwise, if you want to change, then you can like take help from here, and then you can see that what are the things you can change accordingly. Like if you want to add an x axis, or if you want to like, let's say rather than x, I want to put like the stock data. So if I want to put the label, if I want to change the label, then you can just go through all these things, that how we can do it. This is just the basic example. Like when we do the histogram and bar plot, then we will see how we are like playing with all these things.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so this is the just basic, we are doing this just so that you all can be familiar with all with this art studio. Okay. uh, Now the next thing is that, so we are going through these basic commands for the today's class. So the first, I we already know how do we take help from this boot. Like how do we take help from any packages. So okay, so let's say I want help from boot. Okay, so why I did that is that you have package description here, and just a minute. Just functions. So, index versions. Okay, so this I think we talked already, and yeah. Next, we wanted to know that about the data sets. So there are some library inside, like the data sets are already available. So uh, what happens is that, let's say you are working on the modeling, okay, and you do not have any data set right now, but you want to just take an example data sets. Okay, so what you can do is that you can go through the library, and then you can see that how do we use a data sets. So let me just see what is not showing. Generally, it shows if I will put ABC boot array. These are the packages available. So what you need to do is that you need to attach this data. Let's say this one is the data. V one. these are not available. I don't know what's the problem. But okay, if you want to attach some data sets, let me take another example for it. Library. Yes. So you have functions. Huh. Okay. So like library mass, if I think like in library boot there were no data sets available. So what happens is that if you want to use some data sets on your modeling, so what you can do is that you can take some example data sets which are already available in some libraries. So these are some data sets available in the library mass. So you can see that there are available data sets for age, animal, person, and then some for cars, and then a lot many, so that you can use. Or and sometimes we use those data sets even like sometimes what we do is that we introduce some distributions and then we show that okay, it is working on this data set. So and it is giving the better like accuracy than the other distribution, so our distribution is better. So for that also we can use this. So here are the list of the data sets you can see. What you can do is that what you can do is that now you need to attach that data sets. So firstly we will see again what are the data sets available. So the data sets available here, and then let's say I want to take the data set for the cars. Okay, so cars 93. So I need to attach this uh, this cars 93 here. Okay, sorry. So does anyone know why it happened? Like this error happened? Like, can anyone think of why this error happened here? Like, Cars 93 is available in this mass package, but still this error happened. Why it happened? Okay, so what happened? Yes, sir. Okay, so what happened is that I have actually just taken the help from this library, but I have not actually loaded this library. So whenever we are using, like whenever we are starting this R and then you are working on the new script, you need to like load that library. So I have just taken the help, I have not loaded it. So let me load it, library mass, and then attach this cars 93. Okay, so now it worked. Okay, so what happened is that here I have just taken the help from this mass library, but I have not uh, loaded it in the R. So now you have once attached, what you can do is that you can fix this cars uh, 93, and then you will get this like you will get this table. Then you can shift it from here and then from here. So what you can do is that, let's say the data which you have in 2022 is changed a little bit. Let's say the minimum price, let's say the minimum price and maximum prices is still the same, but on an average the price has been changed. Or let's say the price has been for the particular city it has been changed, or for the particular let's say for particular car it has been changed, for the Audi it has been changed. So what you can do is that you can just click it on, and then you can change the data sets, and then you can fix it for your own, and then you can work with it. Okay, so this is one way. uh, uh, yes. So for changing the data set included in the library, what you can do is that first, one way you can do it with attach and then fix, and then other way you can do it with data editor. So here you have edit, and then you have data editor. Okay, and all you need to do is that you need to put this here. So I have put cars 93, and then I put okay. So this is the same thing working on here. So all you need to do is that firstly load the library here, and then you can, rather than attach and fix, you can just directly do the data editor from here. Just write the name, and to get all those like what are the data sets available, you can just go through library and then mass, or whatever library has having, like we were trying from the library boot. So library boot does not have any data sets, so it's not giving any data set, but library mass have having data sets, so it is giving some data sets we can use. Okay. Okay, so next is that getting and changing the directories. So what uh, you need to do is that get wd. So you will I'm getting that here are my all the file will save on my like directory where it is using. So this one is C users and Kamna, and then documents we are having, and then you can change it. You can change this get wds for the getting the directory where it is saving. And what you can do is that, let's say like it is in the C. Okay, and then I don't want it in the C drive, because I want to download the other packages, or I want to download maybe uh, let's say other software, since I do not have enough space in C. So right now we are working with very basics, but if when we work with like high data sets and all, maybe we can have some issues with the let's say storage. Then what you can do is that you can just set wd, and let me just set wd with let's say e, and downloads. Okay, so my I have set my directory with this, and then if I will put get wd, so my directory has been changed to e downloads. So firstly it was getting my directory was this, and then I have changed my directory to this, so my new directory is with e downloads. So this is how you can change the directories. Okay, and then next is like our site search. Our site search. Sorry, site search, and then mode. Okay, so what you are getting here, that you are getting a lot of this, and let me do this help dot search. Okay, so if I will just put help mode, then it is showing me this mode, a kind of type. So basically, like all we know is that help is basically for like mode. So mode basically tells you that whether the the variable you are taking, whether whatever you are saving is whether is it is numeric, whether it is variable, so basically the type of. So you can see here are the examples of it. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that it can be logical, it can be integer, tuple. So these are for storage dot mode. So you can see this the character, list, expression, name, symbol, function. So that can be anything. But if you will search our site search mode, so I have written this same help mode and our site search mode. So here you can see a lot of things. Okay, so then it will like let's say here I'm taking our create mode. So here mode is not just giving like a mode is like single word. But let's say when you work in statistics, so we have mean, median, mode. But that time mode is something different. Mode is basically the frequency, like frequency of that like what is the maximum frequency, like which number is occurring the most. Okay, so that is mode over there. So mode is not always the same thing. Mode can have a lot of meanings, right? So one word can have a lot of meanings. So, but if you write like in just search help, and you just if you will just take help, then it is showing you just one type, which is like what is the type of a variable. But if you will take our site search, then you can see that what are the other things like available like with this one mode work. Okay, so like R, and you have a statistical mode. So then you can say that R X and then multiple modes. So if you want if you want mode of this data, then you can have mode like this. And or also one more thing, you can see that this is uh, the letter, whether you are using the capital letter and small letter, you are getting that everything mode is covering. Okay, so mode can be used for the different purpose. So our site search will give you all those things. What are the different purposes you can use? Okay. Now the next thing is that clearing variables. So clearing variables, I think I told you in the last class also. Like let's say x is equal to 6, y is equal to 7, uh, y is equal to 8. So if I will put, I need to remove this. So what I need to do is that I do not need to write it in inverted comma firstly. So all you need to do is that rm and then x comma y. And then if you have, let's say, 10 variables you want to remove, then you cannot work like this, that you are just doing this rm and then you are putting all these things. The another thing is that if I have removed small x small y, then if I will put small x small y, then it is not available. But if I will put capital Y, then it is available. So you can use the small x and the capital X variable for the different purposes. That is one thing. And another thing is that if you want to remove all the variables in one time, then all you need to use rm this is equal to ls. So it will remove the list of all the variables. Then if you will have capital Y, then it is not found. So if you want to remove all the variables in one time, like let's say clearing variables all, then you need to use it if you want to remove all the variables, then you need to put this rm list is equal to ls. So I'm just making this so that you can just go through it. You don't need to go, because I think the notes we are having from the classes, these are so long. So if you want to go through a very basic thing, then you don't need to go through for all these things. You can just go from this slide and then you will know all these things you need to use. Okay. uh, so this is regarding the clearing command. Give me a minute. Okay. Uh, so next thing is that data vectors and then using R as the calculator. Okay. So firstly, let us see what is x1, 2, 3. Let's say this, and what is mode of x. So x mode of x is numeric. If I say y is like if I will write y as 1, and then I will put mode of x y, then mode of y is character. So if you will write in this form, then you will know that what is like it is writing in the character form. Even if you will write it like this 1, and then you will check this mode of y, then also it is character because it is taking this whole as character value. So uh, uh, another thing, this one mode is for checking, and then is dot numeric will give you true or false value. So mode will give you directly what is this what is the mode of the data, and is dot numeric will give you whether it is true or not. So if I will put is dot numeric y, then it is false. Why? Because the y is a character value. So if I will put is dot character x, then sorry, if I will put is dot character y, then it is true. Okay. So, what you can do is that you can just take some examples on your own and then set it or put it in the variable, and then you can think of on your own whether it is character, whether it is like say y is equal to 1 when you are liking writing like this, and when x is equal to, when y is equal to just when you will write it is numeric, when you will write it in the inverted comma it is character. So you can just see that on your own, like you can just put on different ways, and then you can check on your own that whether your answer is right or not. So you can just see that whether it is character or numeric or function. That's all. I think if we will see mode, then here we can see that what can be the other things, whether it can be logical, it can be complex, character, a list, name, symbol, function, etc. So this is one thing, and yeah, I think I have just if you will put this mode, then also you are having the same thing. So you can just write it help or this, or you can just do a question mark and then write the mode. Okay. And then you can see that whether it is finite or infinite. Okay. So let's say I have x is equal to 3 by 0, and if I will put is dot finite x, then x is not finite because x is like tending to infinity, right? So then you can check whether your work is finite or infinite. So right now it is like literally seeming useless, but when you work further again, so when you work, what happens is that sometimes like inside function anything is working, and sometimes you do not get any answer. It just says that there is an error, infinite, infinite, infinite. So what happens is that then you can just put that if this is finite, then happens this is finite. If finite, sorry, is finite dot x is equal to true, then do it like this, and is finite is dot finite x is equal to 5 false, then do it like this. So I mean, when you are working like this, so it does not seem very useless. But when you will work further, and then you are assigning it inside the function, that if it is finite then work like this, if x is not finite then work like this, then you can divide your functions in that way, so then it will be useful. So these are some very basics, but it will help a lot when after modeling or anything you are going to use this R software. Okay, and then R as a calculator, and then firstly we will see data vectors. So what happens is that there can be three ways, is there is something called scalar, and then there is something called vector. So vector is not we are doing in like a direction, like one like x y or z axis. Vector is we are saying that it is like a vector, so it is basically like if I will put c1 to c2 1, then these things are different. So uh, the you have three types of summation or multiplication or whatever it is. One is scalar with scalar, one is scalar with data vector, and then another with is that data vector with data vector. So let's say if I have x is equal to 7, and then y is equal to 8, oh sorry, y is equal to 8, and then I'm writing z is equal to x star y, and then if I'm having z, then it is just x into y. Okay, or if let's say I am putting capital, sorry, if I'm putting I need to start starting x is equal to 5, y is equal to 8, let's say, and z is equal to x star y, and then z is equal to 48, or uh, let's say I have capital Z x square, then capital Z will be 36. So this symbol is used for square, like double star. So one star is for the multiplication, and double star is for the uh, like a double star, and after that like it is for the power basically. So if you will put 2 or 1 by 2, it will work like that. Okay, so this one is basically a scalar with a scalar, because x is a scalar, y is a scalar. Now let's say I'm taking c, t is equal to 1, 3, 4, 5, and I'm writing capital T is equal to t star x. Then capital T is what? It is just multiplying scalar, this scalar x with uh, vector. So it is multiplying 6 with the firstly 1, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So T is also a vector. So if you have scalar and vector, scalar to scalar, you will get an scalar. If you have scalar to vector, then you will get vector. And if you have vector to vector, then you will get vector. So let me just say uh, 1, 4, 5, 6, and then defining capital S is equal to small s, small t, then capital S. Okay, so how it is multiplying? It is multiplying 1 to 1, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then 5 to 6. Now the interesting thing is that when you are doing scalar to scalar, there is one value, so you can just multiply, or then you can just square it. You can just put any algebraic basically operation. But when you are doing it with vector, then vector to vector, then you need to take care of the lengths also. So that I told you, I think, in the last class also. So if I will, let's say, write r is equal to c 139, okay, and then if I will put capital R is equal to s, sorry, capital R is equal to s times t, okay, capital R is no. If I will put capital R is equal to small r times t, then you will get an error. Why? Because what is the length of r? R is of length 3 and s is of length 4. So you cannot multiply like this, because 1 2 3 and then for the fourth one there is no value. So you cannot multiply like this. So what happens is that either you can have 2 or you can have 4. So it needs to be, one needs to be the multiply of the other. So it can be 2 4 8. It cannot be like this or like 3 or 6 or something like that. So for the vector you need to be a bit careful. uh, Now let me change like r. So if I will put r like 1 2, and then if I will put r as s star t, sorry, r star t, then the capital R is multiplied. So so r is 1 2. So what happens is that 1 and then 2 with 3, and then again 1 will go with the 4, and then 2 will go with the 3. So like starting 2 and then multiply like this. Okay, if I will do it like this, uh, t r, then it will work like this, that you have t values and then you have r values. So firstly it will be 1 to the power 1, and then 3 to the power 2, and then 4 to the power 1, and then 5 to the power 2. So these are some operations you need to take care of then when you are working with the data vectors. Okay. So these are these data vectors. Okay. Okay, and then there was some doubt. Let me put it like this. Let me just remove all the variables from the list firstly. List is equal to this. Yeah. So somebody has asked in the forum that what are these numbers are showing. So these are like these are not like, these are just showing that you are having 1 to 18 and then 19 to, if I will put let's say 100 to 200, and then I will write it. Okay, so it is just showing that in first line, like these numbers are similar. If you will see 119 37 55 73 91, these are similar. What it is showing is that for 1 to 18, like for starting 18 numbers are saved in here, and then for in the next line like 19 to 36 numbers are saved, like depending on the space it is having. Like for the first one it is having like first 18 number, and then for the next one it is having these numbers. So depending on those, like if I will say like I am putting it from 10,000 to uh, 10,100. Okay, then you can see this, these are changed. Why it is changed? Because the space is less now. So in the first line there are 12 numbers. Okay, so here because the numbers are small there was much space, so it there was 18 numbers, and here also there were 18 numbers. But if I will take the numbers of large, like large numbers, and then you can see that there are 12 numbers. So it these are like nothing, but it just shows that uh, how many numbers are there basically in your line. So if you are seeing 1 and then 13, so you can see that in this line you are having this number. So in the 97 you can see that this number is for 97, 98, 99. and then you can see the total numbers you're having. So you can check also that whether all the numbers are available or not just by looking at this. I mean, you don't need to write like, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. All you know is that there are 12 numbers. So this is just this thing. I mean, it does not represent like any regarding the number is specific. Okay. It just shows the length you are having it here. So in between, if anyone have any questions, you can ask. So,
See, ma'am,
yeah.
I was just like for the removal of any number, we are typing remove the list. But if you want to remove any package like that we have installed just for the like just for the speed, like if you have installed very large package, it might cause like it might be like software will be slow. So how we can remove any packages that we have installed earlier?
You can remove it simply like this. Like, let's say if I want to, if I'm installing one package, let's say I'm installing one package, installer packages. Uh, let's say this one is for plotting. So I'm installing this packages, this package, and then you can like take it any, like, doesn't matter. So it is installed, and then you can just see library gg plot 2. Okay, so this one is installed, and then
Yes, ma'am.
yes. So in the last class, I have given that there are two things, that whether you want to remove that package or whether you want to unload that package. So unloading is basically that you don't like load. What we do is that we use library for loading. So similarly, in similar way, we use detach for unloading, and remove uh, for that. So all you need to do is that. uh, package. Oh, sorry. I think it's just remove. ggplot2 is not found. So could not find the function. It is installed already.
And command was detach or removed.
So yeah, so there are two commands. So basically, so one command detach is basically to unload the package. Like we are using the library. So whenever we take this R script, okay. So whenever we are using this R script, we don't need to install the package all the time. Okay, if we are using the
All
same R script. So if, like, let's say I'm making this here, and I have installed the package in my in my that's uh, our environment, then we don't need to install the package all the time, but we need to load that package all the time. Like here,
okay.
when we have used library mass or something like that, then we don't need to use it. So library is for loading it, but install is for installing it. So you need to install that package one time only, and
All
then
right.
it is installed. And similarly, like removing this package is like just uninstalling it. When unloading it is like library you have loaded, and then you are in the below, like you detach it, that you are not using that anymore, so that you can have the space for other libraries.
All right, ma'am.
Okay. So
Thank you.
exactly, I don't remember. I mean, you can see. I think it's remove dot packages or something. So I must be making some kind of mistake here.
It's okay, ma'am. I will see in the help box. So try to find out.
Okay, so it is
Yeah.
packages. I have written packages. That's why there was
Yes,
error.
yes.
So here,
Is yeah, yeah.
so it is showing that my library was here somewhere in Win
Hmm.
library, and then it is removed now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And then there is a command Q. Uh, this is already written here. Just Q in bracket to quit the R. So I'm not using it right now because it will quit the R. So
Okay.
okay, so you can mute yourself if there are no further questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, now we will see how do we use R as a calculator. So R as a calculator, we have seen already that we have put it in the so many variables. So some you don't need to put it in the yeah. The one thing I told, like we can use Control L to is clear the screen also, but I'm not clearing it. I will save it for the R script. Okay. So you can, for using it as a calculator, you don't need to save it in the variable, any variable. All you need to do is that, let's say 6 star 9 double star 9 double star, let's say 2. Then like these things are not clear. So what happens is that you don't know whether it has been firstly it is like squaring, or firstly it is multiplication. So for the BODMAS rule, what happens is that it does not have any kind of this. Wait a minute. Okay. So if you say that BODMAS. So here you do not have like brackets like this one or this one. These are not available in the R. So if you will write it like this, then it will show an error. Okay. So we need to use is that this bracket. Okay. So it's not like that. You will write 1 plus 2 and then star. Uh, yeah, this also, what happens is that for the multiplication, sometimes we just don't in writing, when we write we don't use anything in here, and then we understand it is a multiplication. But if you will do it like with R, then it will not work. So if I will say that 2 in bracket 3 plus 4, then it is saying that attempt to apply non-function, because it is not understanding what function is that. So you need to remember that if there is multiplication, you need to write multiplication over there. So if I will put like this, then it will work. Okay. And then other thing is that we cannot use these brackets, sorry. So if you will write this and then 2 plus 3, then it is saying that unexpected this in 2 star this. So you cannot work like you cannot work like this. If you want to run this if you want to run it in the R, you need to write it 1 plus and then another bracket, 2 is star, 1 plus 3, then close this bracket and this bracket. So if you want to like work this one, then the R command for this is this. So this is how BODMAS rule works in. And then if you are like dividing by minus 8, then you can divide it directly. There is no need to like put it in the brackets. But if you are dividing like minus 8 plus 9, then it is firstly dividing by minus 8, then adding 9. Then what you need to do is that write it in the bracket, minus 8 plus 9, then it will be 5, because 5 will be divided by 1. So whether for the safe side, always use brackets. I mean 2 by minus 8 is minus 0.25, we know, but for the safe side, if you are using any kind of like if you are using continuously two algebraic function, always try to use a bracket. I mean just for the safe side, it helps. Yeah, and then other thing is that the space does not have any role in this. So if I will put 5 plus 7, I am having 12. If I will put 5 and then plus and then 7, then also its answer is 12. So it space does not matter in that. So if you are writing, like let's say if I'm putting x is equal to 5, then also x is 5. If I'm putting x is space 5, then also x is 5. So space does not have any value over there. So these were some basics of it. And so these were some basics of just R. And okay, we still have a lot of time left. So your questions are welcome. Like if you have any doubts regarding this or regarding the assignments also, then also you can ask. There is no issues. Or otherwise, we will just clear some things. Okay, so let me see the assignments. Okay, have you submitted these assignments already?
Yes, ma'am, I have submitted.
Okay. Okay, so this is basic, and then we have assignment sheet.
Ma'am, this one I was doing, and the error I was getting, like if I if I were doing like a round sum, there is a, if I press the enter button, no, then there is plus sign. So what is that? So I have put it like a none of these.
Can you say it again?
Like if we are running this one,
Hmm.
let's say eighth question.
Oh, okay.
So I exactly didn't remember like which question I was getting plus sign. If we enter, then the result will come.
Okay.
But if sometime coming like a plus, I'm not sure like which question I was getting, but there is a one question I was getting plus sign like after clicking the enter button.
Okay, that means what happens is that you are getting the plus sign after entering. That means this one bracket must be missed or something like that.
Okay,
Okay.
all
So,
right,
what happens is that, let's say, if you are like defining a function, and then you have something like one work is missing, then it shows the plus sign.
all right. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay. Uh, okay. So there are functions, let's say. Okay, so we will do some basic calculation, some basic calculator, like are using as a calculator. I'm gonna take some random examples like this then. uh, so let's say I have this round sum, uh, c 13, 13, 12, 14, 15, and then c 2, 3. Okay, so here you can see it is getting this plus sign, right?
Ah, yes, same way I was getting.
Okay, so what happened, like for this I have used for this let me just write it in this, in my. Okay, so what happens is that, like, you have this one closed here, this one closed here, and uh, yeah,
Round one.
so this one is like first, this one is second, and then this one is closed here, but round one is not closed yet. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's why we are getting this plus sign. And if I will put plus uh, 4, and then I will just complete this bracket. Okay, then it's not working like this because it is like vector and then it is working this. But if I will just put it this sum, and then C, and then 13, 12, 14, 15 to the power C 2 comma 3, then I will get the answer. Okay, so plus happens when it does not like uh, it is this is basically not a complete function. If you have not defined the whole function, then it feels like there is still some function left, and then it will show this plus. Okay.
all right, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. uh what else you can do is that, yeah, like round, uh if I will have 1 2 3 plus uh c 13.59 comma 12.56 to the power c 2 comma 3. Okay, then what it is doing is it is rounding. So I think when you are doing this round function with the integer, I don't think it has so much of value. But when you do it like this, like here what have done, like if you will write 13.59 to the power 2, then I'm getting 184.68, but because I have used this function round, then it is giving me 185.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so basically when we use the round function basically to convert it into the integer also. So this one, and I have written 12.56, and for this I have given here this power 3. So it is 1981.3. So since point 0.3 less than point 0.5, so it will write 1981, and here 184.6, and since it is greater than point 0.5, it will write 185. So that's
So,
how.
ma'am, like if we do without round,
Hmm.
like sum of C and then multiplied with this, so then we will get like a decimal value. If we remove the round one, yeah, that's like yes.
No, you will not get. You will get the same value. Why? Because here all are integers. So 13 to the power 2, 12 to the power 3,
No, no,
14
no,
to
ma'am.
uh,
Second one, like
second one.
that we have
Yes,
taken up.
yes, you will get these values, not the round values. If you will get right these are the
Okay,
values you
okay.
will get. You will not get the round ones. So I don't know why in the assignment they have made like this. I mean, round function basically works when do we need to round the values, when we are having this values after the point, right? So for here this is not so much of use. Similarly with the floor function, let's say if you are using floor function with 3, then you are getting 3, but you will use for floor function with 3.4, then you will get 4 3 because it is floor. So remember it, like floor we have downward and
Yes,
ceiling we have
yes,
upward. So if you will
yes.
write ceiling function and then 3.4, then you will get the above one. So it's always better to practice on your own and think that why exactly we are using this function. I mean, for here, like, I think this is of none use, right? So if you
Yes.
are using ceiling function, floor function, or round function in the time of integer, it is not valuable. But when you are using with the point values, then it is making sense. So basically is of float values, it values. So that you can do. uh,
Thank you, ma'am. And eighth question, we are using percentage, like C115206 eight.
this
Not
one
eight.
is it.
There is a percentage. Percentage divided by
6.
yes, yes, six one, yes. So C115206 107, so we are using percentage divided by percentage 4. So why you like what is the meaning of this, like why we are using these are
uh,
taking the like.
uh, no, this is integer division, so fractional part is discarded here. Okay, so
Okay, okay.
whatever will happen after the function part, we will discard it.
Hmm.
So I think like I am taking the lecture like according to what happened in week 2 sessions, and this one is for week 3 assignment. So that's why I have not discussed it yet, and we will discuss in the next class.
All right,
But
ma'am.
this is for what we use. Okay, so for this this function is basically used for this integer. Like you can see, you can work with one example. So let's say if you have 7, and then percentage divided percentage 2, then you have 3 because it is ignoring after the part value. And if you will use this, then you are getting this reminder part. Okay,
Okay,
so you have
so
quotient and reminder, something like that, no? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so these are the things we are getting like for the different function. And if you will use directly, then you will get
Hmm.
3.5 directly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and then these are metrics, and also we will discuss the metrics and other parts in the next class. So right now uh, we will just some do some examples of data vectors and then how it is working. So let me just see that 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, and then 6, and then C, 2, 3. Okay, so 2, sorry, it is of 5 length. So 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then C, 2, 3. Okay, what happened? It's 2, 4, sorry.
This is because of vector size. We are multiplying with the 6 row with the 2. That's
Yeah,
what.
just a minute. Yeah, okay. So it is happening because these, like, one is not the multiplication of other. Okay, so here I have taken 5 size, here I have taken 7 size, and here I have taken this 5 size. So let me just copy all of this and then put it here. This thing, this thing, this, this size. Okay. So what happens is that here in this we are taking this 5 size. Okay, so 5 is not multiplication of 12, so it is not working, and here we are taking this size as 7, so it is not working. Here we are taking this size like of 6. So
6, 6.
one,
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 6 is the
yeah.
multiplication of 2, that's why it worked. So how it worked basically, C, 6, 8, 9, 12, 13, and then 14, and then we have C, 2, 3. So this symbol is for power, and the another symbol you can use is double asterisk for the power. So both works in the same way. So how it is working, it is working C, 2, 3. So firstly 6 to the power 2, 8 to the power 3, and then for 9 again it will start like this, 2 and 3, and then for 13 it is 2, and then for 14 it is 3. So it is working like that. Like that's why it needs to be like a vector of multiplication, like of this length. Otherwise, let's say I have taken if like this, 6, 8, 7, 9, 10. This is of 5 length, and C, 2, 3. Let's say I want to do this power operation with that. uh, Pooja, can you mute yourself if you don't have any doubt? Okay, thank you. What happens is that it will work like this: C, 2, 3. For 7 there is this, there is this, but for 10 there is 2, but for the power 3 there is no value here. So that's why it is showing the error. So it will show the error if it will not be of length of multiplication, like, sorry, if the multiplication, like if you do not have one is the multiplication of other, like length of these is not multiplication of other. So what you can do is also you can check like this, like 6, 8, 9, 12, 13, and 14, and then if I will type this length of x, then I'm getting this 6. So here also you can check whether the length of this, what is the length of basically your array and all, array or list. So this is how you can work with the power, and then you can work with the vectors and all. So
Thank
these
you.
were some basics like as a calculator. So I think that's all from my side. I will upload it. I will upload this. Maybe I can just do it in the new script. So this one. Okay, so you can see this also. Uh, first, so you can just go through this here, and then uh, you can just save as. Just put it in this TNPQR, and then to save. Okay, so this one is saved. So uh, if you can copy these everything, the whole R space in here, and then all you need to do is that you need to go through the file, and then you can save this at here. And if we will do some any kind of changes from here, then what we can do is that you can further do the changes, and then you can again save it from here, or you can just save it by controllers. So this will I will upload this, and then okay. So thank you everyone for joining this class. Okay, and then we'll
Thank
see
you, Ma'am.
you on next Tuesday.